Come on, let's go.
The sheds, garages and barns of Britain are brimful of old and unwanted stuff.
Blimey.
It may look like garbage, but it could be worth a pretty penny. Petrolhead Henry Cole and his expert restorers Alan Millyard, Shirley Douglas and Guy Willison, affectionately known as Skid, love meddling with motors and returning all manner of furniture to their former glory.
It's a revelation.
While upcycling whiz Simon O'Brien
Must be mad.
and his repurposing duo Gemma Longworth and Phil Carroll transform unloved bits and bobs into fantastic one-off items.
Oh, I love it.
This is what we do.
They may have different tastes,
Yes!
but Henry and Simon are here to rescue your cast-offs
Feast your eyes, Ronnie.
and convert them into cash.
£4,000.
That's amazing.
Fabulous profit.
Today, Simon's full of surprises.
For once, I'm not going to turn something into a light. I'm going to turn a light into something else.
Henry's head over heels with a Honda.
Instant classic. This is part of motorcycling history.
And at the valuation, Ronnie's impressed.
Amazing. I mean, that is a very surreal object.
Today, the boys are heading north to Preston in Lancashire, a town thought to be the inspiration for Charles Dickens' novel Hard Times.
But I assure you, Henry, today won't be about hard times.
Ah, well, the twist is, you know, we're going to go and see Claire, right? And Claire has her own theatre company.
Ah, a fellow thespian. Oh, the smell of the grease paint, the limelight. I'll get to tread the boards once more to Henry, Henry, Henry. I have great expectations about this.
We've had this unit since 1989 and we are a touring theatre company, so we rehearse here and we store a lot of stuff that we think might be useful but isn't always. We've got all sorts of daft things, so hopefully they'll be of interest.
And be worth a few bob, as arts funding is under pressure.
Act 1, Henry and Simon meet Claire. Claire, how are you?
I'm very well, nice to meet you both.
Tell us about the Certain Curtain Theatre Company.
Well, we're a professional touring theatre company based in Preston. We set up in May 1989, so we're going to be 35 this year.
How cool is that? 35
I know, it's
years
amazing.
of drama.
Yeah, yeah.
So 35 years on the road, that means have you gathered some stuff along the way?
We have gathered a lot of things, yes, as you can see.
Well, look, Claire, hopefully we will have a little rummage about and we'll get a couple of items each and go and upcycle them, do what we will with them, and, you know, it might make you some money.
We'd love that.
We'll do whatever we can, OK?
Brilliant.
You ready?
OK.
See you later, Claire.
Ta-ra.
See you later, Claire. Is there an interval then?
So the boys are off for a rummage to find 2 items apiece to mend, repurpose or upcycle. Enter Simon, stage left.
Backstage, where the tension is.
I can't believe you're getting all thespian about it, aren't you?
Yeah,
It goes
listen,
back to your roots.
honestly, there's nothing like live theatre performance.
I'm sure. Have you done it then? Hang on. No, you've done panto.
You're really upsetting me. You're so upsetting me. Come on. Stuff.
Hang on. Setting. A cellar, moonlight, table, broom, umbrella, chairs and boxes.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Chorus, grandfather.
We'll be in touch. But look.
That's what they call in the trade a
Light.
par can, isn't it?
Is it? My eyes light upon a gorgeous spotlight, but it's got no internals, but it is in good condition. That's my first item. But its lighting days are over. For once, I'm not going to turn something into a light. I'm going to turn a light into something else.
Well, Ronnie likes your lamps, so I mean, I suppose...
It's not going to be a lamp. It's not. It's not. It's going to be something completely different. But it's a surprise, but it's something that's very close to your heart. You need 2 items. Come on. Just...
Oh.
What are you laughing at? Henry actually looked like a different character in every one of us. He could be a character actor, except he can't act.
I think hats suit me, you know what I mean?
It's probably about the only things that do.
Next one.
Yeah, two-tone, mate. You look great, or a criminal. Hey? Well, I think we will be.
That's very funny, that one.
That's mine.
Yeah.
That's enough acting, boys. Time for 3 more finds.
Oh, hang on a seckie. Hang on, I've just gone behind the screen. That's what you do, isn't it?
It's an old favourite, isn't it? Eh?
Well, it's old. That, as we all know, is a railway light.
So, unlike my lamp, which is not going to be a lamp, it's very likely that this is going to be a lamp.
It's definitely going to be a lamp.
OK.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, instead of being one of them lamps,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be electric.
Ah, right up your street, though.
Isn't it just?
Isn't it just? OK.
Yeah. 1-1.
Go on, go down centre stage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Action studio.
Look at that. Nice stool. That's what they call in the trade, especially up north, chunky.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, doesn't it?
You know what? Someone decided, I'm going to make a stool. Yeah. Shall I do any kind of fancy carving on it? No, I'm making a stool.
Hey, look, I mean, it is pretty brutal. Yeah. But at the same time, we could do something funky.
Yeah.
And then re-cushionize.
Yes, you've got a good solid stool there.
In fact, I beg your pardon?
So Simon just needs 1 more item.
Henry.
And it looks like he's found a sitter.
Thou art very good finding one of those. Oh, man.
Yeah, if you do that.
I love that. Then you...
It's a drop-arm sofa. And there should be a mechanism back here.
Right.
And that allows you to drop it flat. It will go all the way when nothing's in the way. So you can lie down.
Nice sofa.
I mean, obviously, it's going to need reupholstering. That's a fact. But the main thing is, if the structure is solid and the mechanism works...
That side won't be. It'll just be one side that comes down.
Yeah.
Rock on.
All right.
Yeah.
So, we've got our items. Let's go find Claire, but it's the interval first. Cup of tea.
There are a few items here, one of which I've chosen is that rather robust stool.
Well, that's one of our skip finds, and we used that in one of our first plays that we did back in about 1990.
Wow. Well, hopefully it'll have a new lease of life with me.
Yes.
Now, talking about skip finds, was that in the skip with it, the railway lamp?
I think that was from a flea market, and that was for a play we did called Woman on Fire, which was about Preston suffragette Edith Rigby.
So those are my 2 items.
OK.
OK, spotlight on Simon O'Brien. The spotlight is on me, because this is basically...
Oh, yeah.
This is not from on stage, is it?
Yeah, Parkham.
Yeah.
Told you.
You did know that. Yeah, he knows the technical stuff. Well, its lighting days are over. I'm not going to say what it's going to become. It's just a little surprise, and all I've told Henry is it's something that's close to his heart. That's all I'm going to say.
So you're going to turn it into a motorbike?
Well, you could do.
Something even closer to his heart than that, but I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Right. Well, my second item we are comfortably sat on. It's this little drop-arm couch.
It was lovely, isn't it? It's a nice size.
Yep. And also the drop-arm mechanism.
Yeah, that is
perfect.
So perfect for a little smooch, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So, there are 4 items. What do you think?
I think you've done really well, yeah. I mean, I know there's lots of odd things, so hopefully these are a little bit different.
It certainly was. It's been a very different day, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just? So do we roll credits now?
No, we take a bow. It's theatre.
Wait for the standing ovation.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
So that's the end of Act 2. Workshop time. Simon O'Brien and Henry Cole are on an upcycling and restoration crusade.
What are you laughing at?
They both picked 2 items from Claire's theatre unit.
That, as we all know, is a railway light.
Now Simon's with Gemma with the chaise-style drop-arm sofa.
Take a seat, madam. Ooh. I'm about to make you fall in love with this.
Go on.
You ready?
Yeah.
First of all, it does this.
Oh. So it turns into a chaise?
Yes. It needs completely upholstering.
It does, yeah.
So here's the plan, right? If we strip it back to save on costs,
yeah,
then send it out, how do you fancy leopard skin?
Really? We can do leopard skin?
Let's do leopard skin.
OK, yeah. Totally on board with that.
Little drop-arm suite. Yeah?
Oh, this is going to look fabulous.
I shall leave you to contemplate it. Relax and think about it, covered in leopard skin.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I can just imagine it.
And just imagine the spotlight as a biscuit tin. That's the madcap plan that restorer Phil is cooking up.
Simon did want to send this to the blasters. Unfortunately, because it's aluminium, he thought it might have damaged it. So we're just going to give it a light sand.
And when that's done, a spray of primer and a top coat of cream. Not paying for a powder coat should mean more money for Claire. At the farm, Skid's starting work on the lamp, which would have once hung on the back of a train.
Obviously, I'm going to turn this into a light fitting, but what I'm hoping to do is have a bulb in the top and another one inside, frosted so it lights up out of the side windows and the front one.
And while Skid gets on with removing years of rust off the lamp, Shirley's working on the rustic stool.
I really like this stool. It just needs freshening up. These studs actually come in a strip, and they're usually about 4 or 5, and then you get a pin. So we've taken the metal strips off to discover that the fabric has been glued on. So it's going to be a little bit more tricky to come off, but we'll manage. There we are.
Back with the sofa, Gemma's doing a similar job to Shirley, but on a bigger scale.
That was satisfying.
But always take good care when using a razor-sharp craft knife when cutting into woodwork and metal springs.
You can feel that the springs have gone, so it all needs replacing. I'm going to take away everything but the frame.
Which then goes to upholsterers David and Stacey.
Just applying some layers of wadding. 4 layers and maybe a bit more in the corners.
And when that's done, there's a thick layer of foam to staple in around a new set of cost-effective springs.
It's supposed to have coil springs, but we've got to put serpentine springs in. And it's also a lot cheaper, saves time.
And then finally, with the new leopard skin fabric cut, the total makeover can be completed.
Just add an apply grip here onto the back so you can't see no staples. Just gives me a nice finish.
The job is finished, but David and Stacey's skill and time will not come cheap. So will it still turn a profit at the valuation? Meanwhile, Phil has had another madcap idea with his biscuit tin. To place a real jammy biscuit in resin in the tin top. The resin should preserve it.
It's moving! No! Providing that stays there, I think I'm done.
At the farm, Skid's masked off the railway lamp ready for priming.
This red primer always looks horrible, but it is a good base for what's going on top.
And when that's dry, time for the controversial top coat.
Well, I'm going rebellious. I'm going for a metallic copper. I hope it doesn't upset him too much. The jury's out. I'm not sure what I've done here.
And while the jury's out, time to fix the electrics. And wire in not 1 bulb, but 2 together.
So what I've done is I've made this big ring here with a big washer underneath. That will sit in the top there. This one goes in the bottom because I am illuminating the inside as well. It is a bit fiddly. I just want to get the job done.
All items like these will need to be independently pat tested before sale.
Let's put these in and get it fired up. And I'm hoping it looks amazing.
Henry can be the judge of that later. Meanwhile, Shirley has sanded down the rustic stool.
So we're going to paint the bottom half in this fabulous colour called Stormy. Oh, wow. To get the best finish, you want to do lots of thin layers. Build it up and you will actually see the colour growing. I'm now going to put a wash on the top. 1/3 paint to 2/3 water.
And with the paint done, time for the upholstery.
So I've got this piece of foam and inside a little piece of wadding just to give it a little bit of extra comfort.
With the first batch of restorations well underway, it's now time for our second rummage location in Lancashire.
Shut the gate now, make sure in the country.
Yes, quite right.
Yeah, just in case there's livestock.
And who are we going to see in the country?
We are going to see Jez and Janine.
Yes.
And they have really big sheds.
Oh, yeah.
Full of gear, mate. Automotive stuff.
Automotive. There better be other stuff as well.
We moved in 20 years ago.
Yeah, we moved in.
And we just built it up over the years, and now we just acquire all this junk. Well, it's not junk, but we just love old stuff.
We've got that space, so people bring stuff and we end up keeping it.
Jez, Janine, tell me, right, do you think you're hoarders or collectors or a bit of both? Because I think I'm a bit of both.
Bit of both, yeah.
Hoarders mainly. Hoarders mainly.
So here's what we're going to do, if it's all right by you two guys. We're going to have a good wander around your lovely place, pick 2 items each, take them away, upcycle them, restore them, and try and make you a bit of money. How's that sound?
Fantastic.
Feel free, help yourself.
Where should we start? Can we start with the cars?
Go on, go and have a look. Cool. See you later, guys.
See you later.
All right,
Thank
see you later. Come on inside.
Doesn't look too automotive.
Actually,
it looks very.
Hang on a second.
Wood.
Like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's more interesting.
Oh, you don't be like that.
Oh, let me just clear this off.
I can't believe that is really, really lovely.
A little workbench.
How did I miss? Oh, you just do it to me all the time.
Solid. The legs are just rudimentary. All that patina on it.
So what would you do? Would you sand it off or not?
Literally just a partial clean off. Legs could possibly be painted because it's all about the top. This isn't
of course
it?
it is.
It's that meat in the top.
I'm just so jealous.
What a gorgeous thing that is. And actually, it's just a really simple restoration in my mind. We're going to keep the top more or less as is. We're going to fix up the legs, and there you go. Who wouldn't want it?
I think Henry would for sure. And while Henry dreams of motors, once more, Simon's on his game.
Well, hang on. Here you go. Now, there are things that we see wherever we go.
Yeah.
And one of those is old golf clubs. And I've never, ever taken a set of golf clubs before. So today is going to be that day.
Yeah?
Yeah. What you do with them, I don't know.
That's 2.
Yes.
I haven't even started.
Yeah.
So you've got a birdie.
Yeah.
And it looks like I've got a bogey.
Yeah. You better tee off, mate.
I tell you what, Si's brilliant at creating different uses for things. It's just got mind boggles what he's going to do with it. Oh, hang on. Do you want some football skills?
Yeah.
In here, look.
Automotive.
I'm in heaven, as you can imagine.
It was inevitable, wasn't it?
It was. A lovely oil dispensing cabinet. Oh, now then, that logo looks as though it might well come up. Hey, we could have an original logo rather than one of my stickers.
OK, question.
Yes.
Does that make a difference?
Probably about double the price.
If you've got enough of the original logo.
If it comes up well,
yeah,
that's going to add 150 quid to it.
That means you can't spray the rest of it, doesn't it?
No, you can't. But at the same time, it looks as though, with a little bit of oil,
yeah,
a little bit of love, that will come up beautiful and you won't need to paint it. That is a piece of our automotive heritage, right here, right there.
And as if the oil dispenser hadn't whetted Henry's appetite enough, things are about to shift up a gear.
Look. Can I tell you a little bit about this?
Time to get comfy, because I know what is coming. It is going to be a sermon about a certain motorbike of a certain era being a classic.
This is the 400 Baby Fireblade. This is part of motorcycling history. I've got to have it, man. That's 2 all, man.
It is. Which means we need to go and see
Janine and Jez.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's go.
Wow.
I'm going to jump in first because I know he's going to really bore us to death about the certain motorcycle in a moment.
I wasn't going to
yes,
do
you
that.
were. Yes, you were.
No, I was not.
You can't help it. You can't help it. I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. This little workbench here. Tell me about that.
My great-grandma's, I think.
Was it Grandma's workbench?
Yeah.
These kind of things, honestly, it doesn't look much, but once we've given that a bit of TLC, that will become a very lovely saleable item.
Yeah,
I
well,
promise you. Whereas something which intrinsically doesn't have that.
Stars in the sky make everything right. Safe and sound. We'll stand our ground. Heartbeats pound in this love we found. Through the darkest time, we'll find our way. Shadows fade away in the light of day. Hand in hand, we'll take a stand, building our dreams on shifting sand. Every step we take, together we're strong. With each breath we make, where we belong. Safe and sound, we'll stand our ground. Heartbeats pound in this love we found. And we belong. Through the darkest time, we'll find our way. Shadows fade away in the light of day. Safe and sound, we'll stand our ground.
Are old golf clubs. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to tell you because I don't know myself. But I am going to take away with me those two planks of wood and kind of do a mash-up between the two somehow.
Right, my first item. Tell me about that bike.
I bought it 10 years ago.
Right.
And it's probably done 1,000 miles in 10 years.
But Jez, it's an icon.
That's why I kept it.
That is my first item. And I still can't quite believe I've found one in a shed. My second item is a green oil dispensing cabinet. Tell me about that.
From a farm sale. Never used it, but...
I think if we polish it up, clean it up, you know, sympathetically, we don't have to respray it, which just clunk, which just adds value. You know what I mean?
That's just what I thought.
Right.
Jez, what about you?
I'm glad they're going, but I'm a bit sad about the bike. As long as it goes to a good home.
Oh, it will? Yeah. Yes, I'll definitely sell it on. Hey, look, all I can say is thank you so much. We've had a wonderful day today and fantastic items.
Fabulous place you've got, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for coming.
So 4 more finds. Workshop time once again.
Wood.
Simon O'Brien and Henry Cole are transforming unwanted stuff into folding stuff.
I can't believe that is really, really lovely.
They both picked 2 items from Janine and Jez's sheds. Now back in his workshop, Simon's taking a hacksaw to the golf clubs.
I am not very good at golf at all, so there was something really satisfying about that. This is the plan. I think once they're cut and put through a hole, they look like coat hooks to me. This could be good.
And very wacky. So 1 down, another 8 holes to go.
Very snug.
Next, Simon has the workbench in his sights.
We have 1 broken support strut. I could replace this, but, you know, I'm quite happy with the integrity, with the strength of this, so I'm just going to clamp it together and glue it because, I've said it once, I'll say it again, wood glue is really, really good.
And you can use plenty, as a small bottle costs as little as a £5. And any excess can be either wiped or sanded off.
I just put that in position now and put a clamp across. Leave that to set. Then we move on to sanding off the top and painting up the legs. Good.
At the farm, Skid's on familiar ground with the vintage oil dispenser, once a familiar sight on every garage forecourt.
It's in a disgusting state, so I've got this degreasant. What you do with this is spray it on, let it eat in for about 5 minutes, but all the time agitate it with a brush and see if you can get any of this grease to come off the surface.
From one bit of motoring memorabilia to another, the Honda CBR 400. And Skid's got hold of a new battery.
Yeah, this is actually in mint condition, isn't it?
We might get lucky with this one because it does look like it doesn't need a lot doing.
So in goes the new one.
Which hopefully should fit straight in if he's bought the right battery. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great
straight
fit.
in.
And some fuel.
It's always good to put fresh fuel in the bike because the carburetors haven't been turned on for a little while. Right, choke on. Ignition on. I'm really optimistic it's going to start, but it might not run nice. It's whether it runs nice is the important thing.
It's a lot of work to get those carbs out.
And very expensive on parts.
Oh dear, don't tell Henry.
Right, let's give it a go.
That hardly turns.
That's beautiful. The sound's just so lovely.
So it looks like Henry has made a good choice. The less that needs to be done, the bigger the profit. Simon, meanwhile, is still busy with his golf club coat hanger idea.
To finish off, some AstroTurf. Yep, you can see where this is going. Time to get Gemma to get out the big guns.
Meaning the air pressurised stapler.
All done?
Perfect, thank you.
And finally, with a little help from Phil and some strong glue, all 9 clubs can be slotted into the AstroTurf.
Oh yes, hole in one.
Got that.
Outside, Gemma's busy with the workbench that belonged to Jez's great-grandmother.
I don't need to strip it right back because we want it to look rustic and keep its charm.
And when that's done, a coat of primer, and then back inside, a splash of colour.
I'm actually loving this colour blue. I think it's going to work beautifully against the natural wood.
At Henry's, Skid has degreased the filthy oil dispenser. Now it's jet wash time.
For a first stage, I'm really pleased with that. All that really thick black gunges come off and it actually looks green.
And once it's dried off,
I'm ready to, as they say, oily rag it. So I've got a lightweight oil, which I've put in a spray bottle. I've got my rag, so that's oily rag. And all I'm going to do is spray it on here, liberally coat it, and then wipe it down. And this should look a nice green, and it should be sort of shiny. And the beauty of it is, it also preserves it. Right, that's it, wiped down and rubbed over with an oily rag. I hope Henry likes it.
And talking of a wipe down, the Honda needs one. But with older bikes like these, a jet wash can do more harm than good. So a simple bucket and sponge will do.
If I was 20, I would have loved to have had this. I still love it though for the engineering and just how beautifully it's made. But if I rode this for 2 hours, I'd hardly be able to walk when I got off it. It can dry overnight, then at a later date, polish it.
At Gemma's workshop, there's been a big delivery from upholsterer David. The sofa from the first barn search.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Leopard skin print, absolutely timeless, gorgeous little solid piece of furniture.
Isn't it?
Rescued.
Let's see. Let's take a seat.
Or take a seat yourself.
Oh no, you best not actually, you're a bit dirty. This is just stunning.
There you go, and of course, let's not forget, it reclines. There you go.
Now, if I had my slippers on, I could put them on
Feet
there.
off, please.
Yeah.
And the theatre spotlight, now a biscuit tin, is finished too. Who'd have thought?
So Phil has very cleverly resined in this kind of jam ring biscuit, but that is not the full effect. And there is our fossilised biscuit. And just for a bit of colour, to kind of reflect the jam on top, we've slid in this metal plate where the filter would be, just to balance the whole thing off. And there you go. A spotlight biscuit tin. And it does have biscuits in it. I think I'll just pop for a tea break.
Meanwhile, the railway lamp is still very much a lamp, but it has an extra bulb and a blingy copper finish.
That's a departure.
It is. That is bright copper. Well, no,
I
neither
thought it was going to be
I.
black.
I went rummaging on your shelf with all the colours, and you had loads of this. I now know why. So I thought, that'll jazz that up and it'll give it a metal sort of look. But the thing is to get it lit.
Right, stand by.
Right, ready?
Here you go. I love it, mate. A departure, but a belter.
And will Shirley's stool resto be a belter too?
I love it. I love it.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Do you know what? I thought it'd be nice in a pastel colour or something.
This is Stormy.
I beg your pardon?
Stormy.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
the colour.
Oh, right.
And this is a wash. It's part water and part of the Stormy paint.
I mean, you've done what we need to do, is give it a new lease of life and add a bit of value to it.
It is, it's lovely.
Or, let's hope we do.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, you know what he's
You
like.
never tell with Ronnie.
Oh, no.
Well, it's time to deal with Ronnie right now. Simon and Henry found 4 unwanted items at Claire's rehearsal unit. Now they've been transformed. But what will she think? We've sent her pictures of the restorations to find out.
Oh, wow. The sofa just looks brand new. I was intrigued by the stool, but also the lamp. That's just brilliant. I like them all, but I think the railway lamp looks amazing because that was just a rusty old thing that anybody would have just chucked away. So I think that's my favourite, but I like them all.
Can I just say, you've excelled. That's like a sci-fi character, isn't it?
But now, enter stage left.
Yeah.
The evil villain.
Yeah, that is Ronnie. Hey.
Hi, guys.
You all right, mate?
Hey, old good fellow.
How are you both?
He doesn't look that evil, though,
No, he
does
doesn't. No. He's a lovely fellow.
Antiques expert and valuer Ronnie Archer-Morgan started his long career upcycling furniture, so he's well placed to know the true value of restored items.
It's a long time since I've seen anything so beautifully upholstered. I love the use of fabric.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love the piping. I love the way you've matched the patterns here. I love this drop on here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Really couldn't be better. Really nice thing. A bar stool.
I think it's lovely.
I think it's very clever. I love the subtleties here. It's washed here to look as though it's limed oak.
Yeah.
And then I love the way the fabric that's been upholstered on the top here reflects the upholstery studs here. The circles and the circles. Very clever.
Yeah, well, it's Shirley, you know, mate. I mean, I just had a cup of tea. Yes.
A railway lamp.
Well, yeah, but a sort of different vibe for a change.
It's not my taste, but I think you've done a good job of restoring something.
Cool, mate.
Now this, for me, I think, is another pièce de résistance compared to that, and it's just the other end of the spectrum.
Ronnie, just before you start, I'll tell you what, mate. Tell you what, why don't you have a biscuit, mate? There you go. Help yourself to a biscuit.
I love
There you
these.
go. It's a biscuit tin, mate. There
You didn't offer me one.
I've heard of things being preserved in aspic, but to preserve one of my favourite biscuits as a child in resin tells us exactly what this is for. A biscuit preserved in resin. Oh my God, your brain. I think you need counselling.
Before he gets stuck into his
Oh,
biscuit.
yeah, biscuit. OK, yeah.
Sure.
Put it in
I
your
can't
pocket,
talk
Ronnie.
with my mouth full, so I'll wait.
Do you want me to look after it then for you?
No.
Oh, right, OK.
Leave it. Shall I start?
Yeah, go on. I think you better start.
Yeah, OK. Let's talk about the little two-seater drop-arm Edwardian sofa.
Well, honestly, I think you've excelled yourself with that. Really fantastic upholstery work.
The drop-arm sofa was saggy and sad. Now it's had a complete makeover and looks magnificent. A hefty £700 spent on upholstery and fabric.
That would be an easy sell at £850.
That's a hard-worked profit of £150.
Can we talk about the little biscuit tip?
I just love it.
The stage light had seen its last performance. Now it's back in business as a biscuit tin. £20 spent on resin.
It's got to be £90 worth of fun.
That's a profit of £70.
Ronnie, my turn. Let's start with the stool.
I think that's very clever. I love the way the upholstered fabric on the top reflects the studs that hold it down. I like the subtlety in the tones.
The high stool was scruffy and dusty. Now it's looking modern and cool. £10 spent on studs and paint.
It's just a very nice thing. Someone would happily pay £100 for it.
That's a profit of £90.
Now look, moving on to a lovely finish. Let's talk lampage.
You've restored something that was probably rusted to oblivion, and you've made it into a decorative object.
Yeah.
And the railway lamp was rusty and redundant. Now it's still a lamp, but with an extra light. £30 spent on a bulb and flex.
And I think someone would pay £75 for that.
That's a bright profit of £45.
So, Claire will be receiving £355.
That's brilliant. It's going to go towards the screening of one of our productions, Lady in Red. So that's really, really good. That's much more than we expected to get. Thank you.
I think that sofa's your best performance.
Well, I think your stool, what Shirley did with that, deserves an encore.
Yeah, encore, I think. Be nice as a pair.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roger.
As always, thank you very much.
Dukes of Junk, Simon O'Brien and Henry Cole are turning leftovers into lolly. The boys' choices made a total of £355 for Claire.
That's really, really good. That's much more than we expected to get. Thank you.
And so it's game on as the teams finish off the restorations from Janine and Jez's sheds, starting with the golf clubs.
I'm happy there. Are you happy there?
Well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah? Let's have a look. What do you think?
That's all right, isn't it? That's close.
Voila.
I think you chose the wrong club there.
Do you think? But what else do you do with redundant golf clubs?
That. Exactly that.
Exactly that.
But enough about that.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging about. I'm off the club.
And the workshop bench table is nearly done too.
Oh, is this nearly finished?
Not nearly finished. There you go.
Went for it there, didn't you? I really like this.
Love the colour.
It's great, isn't it?
Really, really nice. There you go. Think, that was going to be firewood. Look at it now.
It's lovely.
Good job, us.
And at the farm, the oil dispenser has cleaned up a treat.
What do you think?
Do you know what? That's come up better than I thought.
Check that out inside. Look at that.
Push it down.
There.
Man, that's stunning. But the key thing, obviously, is that this is just how I imagined it.
Yeah.
Oh, top job.
Next, there's just one more job to do on the Honda.
So all I'm going to do now is give the seats a wipe down, the vinyl seats, and I'm going to wax the paintwork. Then it'll be done, ready for the ride out. I hope it rides as good as it looks.
Straight away, it feels really tight. And actually, it feels incredibly modern for a motorcycle that was built in 1989. Now, these things were seen as the baby of the Honda Fireblade, which was the big flagship race replica. Oh, I've got to tell you, man, this is just lovely to ride.
So the teams will be hoping their hard work pays off at the valuation. Henry and Simon found another 4 unwanted items at Janine and Jez's place. Now they've been upcycled or restored. But what will they think about what the boys have done? We've sent them pictures to find out.
Wow, look at the stuff.
Look at that bag.
That's our junk.
Yes, look at the bench.
That's what I was going to chop up.
That was going to be on the fire.
Firewood. And it's amazing what you can do with a plank of wood and a set of golf clubs.
But why are you taking them? Looks amazing.
They loved it, and I love it. It's the craziest thing to hang your coat on I've ever seen. Hey, Ronnie, come on in.
Hi, guys.
You all right, mate?
How are you both?
Hi, Mr. Archer Morgan.
Have a look.
What I see does please my eyes.
Oh, good. It's got to be
I think I'll start with this little beauty. Iconic 90s bike, this. I mean, I think that is a thing of beauty.
I think it's horrible.
What?
It's horrible.
Why?
It's great.
It's loud, it's brash.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
It's all the things
but
I've
it
always wanted
looks
to
like
be.
it goes like greased lightning, and it does. So it's a really gorgeous machine.
Great, Ronnie.
This.
Oh, yeah.
The person who created this needs their imagination plundered for great ideas. It's great. Love it. And for something completely different?
Well, yeah. Yeah, that was an exercise in restoration.
This is beautiful. This is what I'm all about. It's restoring something as used original. You don't make it look perfect, you make it look as though it would have looked on the forecourt. It's lovely.
Oh, great, mate.
And I love the way you've just cleaned it up so you can still see the logo. That makes it. That's what people want. All different, love it all. And I love this. It's old workbench.
Beautiful.
Pitch pine. That is great timber. Look at that.
I know.
Thickness of that. That's great gauge. So someone could use that as a workbench again, or it could be a kitchen table.
Yep. Lovely.
And I like the colourway again.
Hello.
Yeah,
you guys are good.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Let's go straight down the fairway and...
I know where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the little golf club coat hooks.
I really think it's clever and it's really well made. I felt the hooks and their sound. You've done a really great job.
Yeah.
The golf clubs had definitely had their last game. Now they're transformed into a coat rack. £20 spent on AstroTurf.
£200 all day long.
Oh! 4
hole-in-one, mate.
That's a sporting profit of £180.
Finally worked out what you do with old golf clubs.
Patent it.
Let's start with this. Can't be patented, but I really like that little table. What do you think?
The table was in a terrible state. Now it's restored but remains rustic. £15 spent on Danish oil and paint.
Very desirable, £150.
That's a profit of £135.
So let's start with the oil dispenser, the oil cabinet. Ronnie, what do you reckon?
I think it's beautiful.
The oil dispenser was filthy. Now it's cleaned up and looks classic. No costs.
Got to be £300.
That's a well-oiled profit of £300.
Hey, look, I mean, that's amazing. Normally we see those for about a couple hundred.
Yeah, but not like that.
Oh, mate, fabulous. Let's get on to the CBR 400, which I have to say came to us in very good condition.
And the Honda motorbike was just sitting in the shed. Now it's ready for the open road. £50 spent on a new battery.
I think it's great.
Cool, man.
£3,500.
That's a profit of £3,450.
So that means that Janine and Jez are going to receive £4,065.
£4,065.
I can afford my spa day.
That was a good day's work.
Yeah, very good day's work.
So there's £355 in Claire's bank account. And there's a whopping £4,065 heading in Janine and Jez's direction. The biggest profit today being made by the Honda.
These two are you in heaven, aren't they?
Yeah, and your mind, though, mate, is in the clouds. Why? Because you give Claire a biscuit barrel out of a par can, right? And look at this coat rail here, right? I mean, it is unbelievable, mate.
But the main thing is, we stop them going to landfill. That's what we do most importantly.
Absolutely, mate, and that's what it's all about.